All right, morning everyone. Thanks everyone for coming here early in the morning on a Saturday. I'm really glad to be here. My name is Eugene. I'm the head of engineering GMI Cloud. So today we have a full agenda actually, and I think everybody would be interested in what's coming next, and we're going to announce later on. So I'll just try to be quick. So first, let's start with the opening video.
2025, the year GMI Cloud powered AI from infrastructure to imagination. We solidified our role as a leading NVIDIA-backed GPU cloud provider, from dominating CES and GTC to becoming a global NVIDIA reference platform partner, and announcing our $500 million Blackwell-powered AI factory in Taiwan. We built the backbone for scalable, sovereign AI infrastructure. We went all in on open source, with 44+ LLMs and day zero deployments. Since May, we've been live on OpenRouter. Developers gained Inference Engine 1.0 plus enterprise-grade features. Dedicated endpoints for consistent performance and isolation, serverless scaling with zero idle billing, and our model-as-a-service platform unified API with batch inference, prompt caching, and strong privacy controls. Gemini 3 is live, Claude and OpenAI coming in 2026. Mid-year, we expanded to creators with Inference Engine 2.0, unifying text, image, audio, and video. Day zero AIGC model drops, exciting partnerships, cash prize challenges, and GMI Studio Beta empowered thousands to turn ideas into reality faster than ever. None of this happens without our incredible partners and community. Huge thanks to infrastructure and early partners, clients and case studies, model providers, and our amazing creators and community. And to the creators who helped shape this from day one, this is as much yours as it is ours. Thank you for building with us. 2026 is going to be even bigger.
All right. Well, we have a lot included in the video, and some of them will be announced later on today. I hope everyone has went through their Luma link, right? So you know what GMI is and what we stands for? Oh, I guess not everybody. So I'll just do a quick intro to the company, about the company itself. So GMI Cloud was founded in 2023, and we are a neo cloud that focuses on AI native compute platform. So TLDR, what do we do? First thing is to build a reliable infrastructure for AI. That means enterprise and small builders don't need to care about the underlying compute, APIs, or anything that can power their application. That means you don't need to worry about outages, network latencies, or latency spikes when the traffic comes. We build and manage our own data centers across different major regions, and our product line span across different NVIDIA GPUs these years. The second thing we do is what we call an inference engine. That basically means two things. First is low latency, easy to use API hub that covers most of the top tier APIs, spanning from LLMs, multimodal or video and audio models, and also a serverless endpoint that can help you guys to host your own models and scale up when the traffic comes. So you don't need to pay extra, but can also handle the traffic. There are a lot to announce later on today. I will save some content from here, but one thing we're building is to help customer imagination meets their intelligence. So we're about 2 weeks into 2026. I'd like to do a recap here of what GMI has accomplished back in 2025. In 2025, we're in a phase of global productionization. We had data center coverage for about 8 regions. We have 30K builders on our inference engines, and we're having about 150-something global partners. But all these are just numbers. I will take a step back and speak as the head of engineering here. All these numbers means our customer trusts us, and we have the ability to provide the good service that can help our customers to handle their workload and their ongoing traffic. So, looking into 2026, what's our prediction, what's our direction, and how do we think the industry would evolve, right? So, if people enter this domain early enough, back in 2024, most of the topics were around model trainings, who has the best models, and benchmark were probably very popular back then. In 2025, people are talking about inference as the inference traffic suddenly spikes up, and we have definitely witnessed that process since early 2025. And we believe the trend still goes on because a lot of models are actually landed in different verticals. All right, no battery issue. Everything needs a battery, especially your AI application. Yes, and we will be the AI battery for you guys. So 2026, we predict to be accessibility. Basically, who can populate all these AI capabilities, who can funnel all these batteries to the application will win. So 2026 is about accessibility. So what's coming in 2026 on the GMI platform? We're about 2 things. The first, of course, is still our model platform. Like I mentioned, we provide all top-tier APIs with reasonable pricing, with low latency and good proxy. And if you want to host your own model, we have the ability to do on-demand serverless endpoint, and you only need to pay as you go. The second thing is we're expanding our AI factories, especially releasing our first AI factory in Taiwan this March. So this will be a great news for anyone that's interested in do fine-tuning or post-training on a larger scale. The third thing is about the accessible AI. We're building tools and platforms that can help creators and builders to access AI easier without worrying about what's underneath the hood. Well, let's dive deeper into each one of the modules. The first thing, of course, the model platform, or what we call it, model as a service. This is not a novel slogan, right? Everybody was talking about model as a service probably late 24th. And there are quite a lot of competitors or similar product on the market. But why do we stand out? First, we operate our own data centers, and we have deep collaborations with different model providers, so we can provide with low latency, easy to use, and high RPM APIs to you, so you can just run all models you need using one API key. You don't need to worry about registering through different platforms, different websites. You can just use us to solve as a one-stop solution. Of course, if you come to us, you will have a very clear pricing and using our intuitive workflow, which is something that's going to be announced later on. If you're a model builder or you want to try to fine-tune your own model or use your own data, you can happy to use our serverless endpoint to host your models. Like I said, our serverless model can guarantee you the scalability you need when traffic comes. So when you have a lot of customer trying to try your product, you no longer need to tell them to wait. And thirdly is our workflow product that's about to announce. That will greatly reduce the barrier to entry in this AI domain. For larger enterprise and people that's interested in fine-tuning or post-training, either a LLM or a video or audio model, AI Factory is something you should look at. We're expanding our GPU capacities and footprints in all major regions. We have data centers in about 8 regions across most of the time zones at this point. And we offer low latency, data sovereignty, and reliability. So we have pretty much all the certificate you need or you need to worry about. So we will take care of the infrastructure for you guys. So let's focus more on the accessibility part. Accessibility means performing production-ready, worry-free infrastructure for any of the builders. We're introducing our first workflow product that solve the problem of connecting all the dots when you try to build something by your own. You can think about as the camera or photography back in 100 years when people have to carry a very heavy and clunky camera and you have to use certain chemicals to get the photos out. Do you want to use that product? No, right? I want to use my phone. Just point and click, and you got a photo. That's what I mean when I say accessibility, because it's just not a slogan. Accessibility will grant popularity. And it's because of the popularity, we can have more ideas and more executions happening in real world. So, TLDR, in 2026, one of our main goals is to stop infrastructure from being the constraint. Back in the days, if you want to build a startup, if you want to build an AI application, you have to think about a lot of technical stacks, what to use, what model to use, do you want to host your own models, where can you get compute? All these kind of issues you have to worry about. But we want to be the company to bridge the gap. So infrastructure will no longer be your constraint. You can get the compute easily from us, you can get all the API tokens, or get your own tokens from us without worrying too much. And eventually, we want to build a platform that's even for non-technical or people with no development background. So they can build their own stuff or make their own imagination come into reality without worrying about coding or the underlying AI infrastructure. So, people are saying now we're in the era of AI. What's most important are no longer skills rather than your ideas. And I can't agree more with that. If you pay attention to your social feeds these days, one thing we can realize is it's getting harder and harder to differentiate between human-generated content and actually AI-generated content. That means the AI models are already good enough. Everybody can be their own creator, and everybody can be their own builders. So today, we are here to bridge the gap, and we believe vision has now become the differentiate rather than skills. With that said, I will give the mic to our next presenter, and thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Eugene. As you just heard, from the infrastructure layer to the model as a service layer, we've built all the foundation building blocks for making creation possible. The last layer will be usability and accessibility. Please help me welcome Mingjun Sun, our product manager, to do a showcase demo of GMI Studio.
Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning. How is everyone doing? Thank you, everyone, for being here. I want to first state a problem that we all know that over the past few years, AI have moved at an unbelievable pace. There are new models shipping constantly, smarter, faster, and more capable. But there's something strange have happened along the way. As the models go better, creating with AI did not get easier. This is exactly why we built GMI Studio. And just as I stated, the core problem in current AI creation is that we do have incredible models, like Pixverse, but creation is still slow, fragmented, and fragile. Moving from an idea to an output still means that you need to jump between tools, stitching models together, and also dealing with the infrastructure and also insufficient computation. That's things creators never want to touch. And there are many tools around there that requires complex setups. You need to pull the code, managing the dependencies, configuring the environments. I believe this have made most of you headache. And then you need to find and also manage your own GPUs. And the resource choices are usually fixed. And if you want to scale, for example, wanted to run a production level workflow on something like an H100, that's something out of reach for most of us, right? And even when something finally works, it's really hard to reproduce. It's hard to scale and hard to rely on. So the result is predictable. Great ideas is getting stuck in experiments. The prototypes, they never been product. And powerful AI never reaches its potential. And the gap that GMI Studio will solve. So what exactly is GMI Studio? At its core, GMI Studio, it's built around one simple idea. The creation process should feel connected, fast, and under your control. Your workflow should live in pieces. If these were a kitchen, your stove and refrigerator are not supposed to be in completely different rooms. And Studio will integrate everything into one place. One system where you can create, experiment, and also iterate without breaking the momentum. But the connection alone isn't enough. GMI Studio will also build for orchestration. The models don't just sit next to each other, but they're designed to work together. There are multiple text to image, image to video, text to video, and even audio models, and also the compute workflow as one unified process instead of a collection of disconnected steps. And then there's performance. When inspiration hits, waiting kills creativity. So Studio is designed to respond instantly. Whether you are experimenting or running at production scale. Finally, we have configurability. Creation isn't one size fits all. GMI Studio will adapt at your intent, not the other way around. You can shape the workflow, and you can shape the output as well. And together, these principles will define GMI Studio. We want a platform where AI creation finally works the way you think. And at this point, you might be wondering, is this really built for someone like me? We designed for GMI Studio for these three groups. You'll definitely recognize yourself as one of them. When we say creators, we don't just mean by designers and filmmakers. We mean by anyone who's using AI to turn an idea into something real. Whether it's prototyping, exploring, experimenting, or simply you just want to generate a content using AI. then you're a creator. And next is builders. Builder is the group of people who's going deeper. They compose the workflows, they connect models, they tune the behavior, and turn experiments into a repeatable system and also predictable outcomes. And the teams bring everything together. They standardize workflows across people, projects, so creation becomes consistent, collaborative, and also production ready. There are different levels of depth, different ways of working, but one platform, GMI Studio, will meet you where you are. And now I want to show you the core capabilities of GMI Studio and what AI creation looks like when those barriers are moved. So first, we have ultra-low barrier of creation. With Studio, creation starts directly in a browser. And there's no installation, no environment setup, and no code required to get started. And you just open a canvas, drag the node, and start on creating. And next, we have unified multimodal canvas. The text to image, image to video, audio, and also LLMs no longer lives in a separate tabs. Instead, they're working all together in one connected workflow, where context flows naturally from one step to another. And then there is performance. GMI Studio is powered by GPU-backed execution, so workflow runs fast, reliable, and also at scale. You focus on creating, not on compute or infrastructures. And finally, we have collaboration. You can save workflows, reuse them, and also share them across teams. What starts as an individual experiment can quickly become a shared building blocks for everyone. There are less setups, fewer handoffs, more momentum from an idea to an output. And just as I mentioned, one of our core goals is lowering the barrier of creation. With GMI Studio, creation is instant. There's no installs, no configuration and dependencies that makes you headache. Just opening the browser and you can start. For beginners, we have a playground mode, a space that you can explore, experiment, and just learn everything with a few clicking. And everything is visual. The inputs, the prompt, and also models are connected as a really clear workflow, so you can always understand what is happening. And if you don't want to start from scratch, you don't have to. You can always duplicate a workflow that already worked and adapt them to your own ideas. And the goal is really simple. Spend less time setting things up, spend more time on creating. And one of our biggest shifts from GMI Studio is the unified multimodal canvas. Instead of treating text, images, videos, and audios in separate tabs, we bring them into one continuous workflow. You can start with a prompt, bring in an image, or extend it to a video, add an audio. All of them are in same one canvas. And the platform will help you move faster. We surface model recommendations for your specific need. If you're not familiar with the latest model performance, you can use the model recommendation system. You can also switch models instantly, compare results, iterate, and refine without rebuilding a workflow. Everything will stay connected, the inputs and outputs, also the intermediate result. All will be managed in one place. And building everything you've seen so far is the performance. GMI Studio is powered by GMI Inference Engine 2.0 and also NVIDIA GPUs. And that means execution is fast, reliable, and also scalable, whether you're running one workflow or hundreds in parallel. and it handles parallel execution at scale, so workflows will stay fast and reliable without worrying about queues, retries, or GPU types. The only thing you need to do is focus on the workflow. We'll handle the execution for you. And that's what enables a high-speed, stable AI creation from experimentation all the way to production. And finally, creation doesn't happen in isolation. The best idea comes from seeing how others are built. And that is why GMI Studio is also a collaboration platform. You can discover the workflows from other creators, you can duplicate them, remix them, make them as your own. Instead of starting from scratch, a completely blank of a canvas, you can start from something that already works. At scale, it becomes powerful. And the high quality workflows become reusable templates. The top creators will get recognized in the community, and the knowledge compounds across the community. Over time, GMI Studio will become more than just a tool, it becomes a shared creative ecosystem. And just as I mentioned, we're building an ecosystem instead of just a tool that unifies everything. And now, let me start with a video that is completely produced by Studio. How do we like it? Isn't that so exciting? Now everyone can build a video like that just using GMI Studio. And wondering if everybody is curious about how Studio can output this? So everything you saw came from our workflows inside one canvas. And there's no post-processing, no extended tools involved. You build it, you run it, and you get the result at one same place. And once you're inside of the canvas, things are pretty straightforward. Just as an illustration, there's no hidden logic there. What you see is exactly how you can play with the system. There's just connections where you can just play. You can swap the input, tweak the parameters, maybe try a different model and run it again, do whatever you want there. And the only thing you focus on here, just experimenting and iterating your creativity. And that's the experience that we're aiming for. And now, let me show you how this will work in practice if I'm a user. So I'm starting from our landing page here. When I click Start Now, I'm taken directly into the workflow gallery. And this is the gallery where creators share, discover reusable workflows. And for this demo, I wanted to create a gaming-style character visual. So I'll select a workflow called Game Visual Production Workflow. And in this playground, I can use one-click generation, but now I I wanted to play around with the workflows, so I'll click Duplicate Workflows, and this will immediately create my own copy and bring me into my workflow page. And now I click into it. I wanted to duplicate the workflow. To start with creating, I want to first enter my API key, and then I got to choose which GPU type I want to use. And here, I will choose not to attach a GPU since I know this workflow does not require one. It's totally okay if you don't know how to choose a GPU because we later will put on a choice where we choose the optimized GPU or non-GPU type for you for the best capability of a workflow. And this is the full workflow topology. And once we zoom out, you'll see the whole production pipeline laid out visually on a single canvas. I'll follow the flow from left to right. And now, at the very left, I will update a character image that I want to use. Once I do that, I'll click Run to run through it. And just looking through the workflow, it looks like it can first create a character base sheet and then generate multiple views. The front, the back, and also side, the character's weapon, just with one flow. And from here, the workflow will also output videos. First, from the front, side, and back, I wanted to create a 5-second teaser video for this character, giving a quick cinematic preview of the character. And then there are also a character action video that's showcasing how this character moves and behaves in a gaming style environment. Whether I wanted to use it for my social or if I'm a game designer, I want to use it for work, I can totally do that. And also, since it's my asset, I definitely wanted to download it to local computer. And also, I can just click Save and save the workflow as my own. How simple is that? So that is what things will look like to me if I am a real user. And I just start from a gallery, I duplicate it, I change the inputs, and then I run it. It's not complicated. That's just how GMI Studio is meant to be used. And once you've seen that, the next question is pretty obvious. If everything already works today, where do we want to go next? We have been pretty intentional about how GMI Studio will evolve. We're not trying to ship everything at once. Each phase will solve a very specific problem that creators run into as they go from experimenting to actually using AI seriously. The Q1 is about getting the basic rights, right? A low barrier way to create across models in one canvas, stable execution. That is why today you can just open the browser, duplicate the workflow, swap the assets, and run it. And in Q2, the focus will shift from individuals to the actual ecosystem. Once the basics are resolved, the real challenge is about helping creators to do more, faster, and with confidence. That is where our model recommendation, the workflow discovery, and also community sharing comes in. Workflow stops being one-off setups and also starts becoming shared building blocks for the ecosystem. And by Q3, GMI Studio is built to support real heavy production workflows. But just as importantly, we want the level of power to feel also approachable and reusable. Our goal is to make serious AI creation something more people in the world can actually work with, learn from, and most importantly, grow on. Not something that is locked behind a complex code or configurations. So when we're talking about GMI Studio, we're not talking about a single feature here. We're talking about a platform that starts simple and scales naturally as the creators need to grow. That is the real idea behind Studio. Powerful when you need it, approachable when you just get started. We don't want a hard-coded stitching of a single instrument. We want orchestration harmony. I hope GMI Studio can give you the full power of AI creation, and I can't wait to see where you can take it to. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mingjun. Earlier, you just saw the introduction of our accessible tool, GMI Studio. One of the most important things then, once a tool becomes accessible and usable, is a community built around exploring the art, creating with that art, evolving with each other, critiquing each other, and then ultimately becoming artists together. The next bit will be about formalizing that loop and building that community. Please help me welcome Vivian Zhang, our partnership lead, to introduce the GMI Clouders program.
Hello, everyone. Before I start, I have a quick question for you. So how many of you have followed our LinkedIn? Can you raise your hand, please? Okay, quite a few. Can I ask, have any of you followed us for more than 3 months? There's one of you. Okay, that's great. Okay, that means I'm doing my job. Anyway, okay, let's get started. So after listening to our product demo, and you were like, I'm so excited for this, and then I want to maybe build together with you in the future. And then if you have followed our LinkedIn and X, or walk away from one of our events thinking, okay, they're doing something different, then we welcome you to join us as an ambassador, or as we call them, a clouder. So this cyberpunk version represents the Clouder identity: high-tech, decentralized, and boundary pushing. We'll build a hybrid program to focus on 2 things: give you the elite resources to create, and rewarding you for the growth you drive. So our structure is very simple: build and earn. Every clouder gets up to $300 monthly credits to use for hundreds of models, including DeepSeek, Gemini, GPT, Clean-1, and Pixverse on our Inference engine. And then also you can use that on GMI Studio. So whether you are shipping an interactive product or directing an AI short film, we provide the full support for you. And beyond building, we want you to earn. So every clouder receives a unique referral code with shared commission. This turns you into strategic partners who share directly in our ecosystem's growth. If you love hosting, we also have a space for you too. GMI provides an activation budget for clouders to lead workshops, hackathons, film sprints, and meetups. Whether it's a university CS club or a professional creator meetup, GMI provides the funding and the infrastructure to turn your AI vision into a community reality. And we segment our clouders into 4 special groups. So builders, developers, and machine learning experts who integrate our APIs into new products, researchers who benchmark our computes against the status quo, and then also creators who are AI artists and maybe comfy UI experts who can produce highly viral content. And then the last group is students who can drive adoption across global campuses. And if you don't find yourself into these 4 categories, we welcome you as long as you're innovative and ready to embrace GMI. Being a clouder means standing on the shoulders of giants. Our ecosystem is built through deep integration with the developer communities you already trust, like VLM, PyTorch, Ray, and OpenRouter. Furthermore, we provide direct access to the world's leading multimodal providers. When you build on GMI, you're building with the best-in-class tools from Pixelworks, Minimax, WAN, Bria, Clean, and so much more, as you can see in the screen. And then also Pixelworks and WAN, they're having their own individual booths here, so you can check them out later. So we are the hub that connects these powerhouses to your creative workflow. Looking at this upgrades, so standard user gets Discord access and then maybe some compute access. But then Clouder, you get cache, priority compute, and the direct line to our developer team. And then I'm going to play a reel that features 8 works created by our current global ambassadors. We hope this video will inspire you. We want more voices, more color, and more crazy ideas. If you're ready to bring the next wave of builders on board, please scan this QR code and submit your application in less than 5 minutes. And to show how serious we are about our top talent, if you submit your application today, we'll handpick a few from this room and today to join us at NVIDIA GTC with full access tickets on us. Thank you, and let's build the future together.
WAN is actually one of my favorite models to play with, but there are many models that we can play with, all on GMI Cloud, and as models proliferate, teams don't want more contracts or more integrations. They want fewer decisions between ideas and execution. This next announcement addresses that directly. Please help me welcome Lillian Ma, Product Growth at GMI Cloud. She will talk about our model as a service currently used in production by AI builders around the world.
Good morning, everyone. We really have a fancy venue today. It's one of the most fancy venues I've ever been to for the event. So thanks for joining us. I'm excited to introduce GMI Model as a Service, or MAS. So as AI adoption accelerates in the enterprise, one challenge keeps growing: complexity. Multiple model providers, fragmented APIs, separate contracts, and unpredictable costs. Our goal with GMI MAS is very simple: to remove that complexity. So we provide a unified commercial and delivery layer for world's leading AI models across text, image, video, and audio, where core value proposition can be summarized in one sentence: one API, all leading models, better pricing. Let me walk you through what this means in practice. Let's start with a clear definition. So what is GMI MAS? GMI MAS is a unified commercial and delivery layer for the AI ecosystem. In one sentence, we bring together the world's leading closed-source models and the most powerful open-source models under a single, consistent API, while offering discounted pricing and enterprise-grade guarantees. What makes us different comes down to three pillars. First, extensive aggregation. We integrate significantly more proprietary models than the typical aggregators. And second is the native hosting. For open source models, we don't just raw traffic. We host and operate by ourselves. Third is the production optimization. Everything we do is designed around the real production requirements: cost control, performance consistency, and trust. So choice matters, and GMI offers more of it than any other comparable platforms. On the closed source side, we provide discounted access to the most widely adopted model families in the industry, like Google's Gemini, OpenAI's GPT, and Anthropic's Cloud, plus additional leading proprietary models for multimodal, video, and speech use cases. And on the open source side, we go a step further. We don't just list the models, we host and operate the most popular ones ourselves, including DeepSeek V3.2, Kimi K2 Thinking, GPT OSS 120B. So the result is real freedom of choice without customers needing to manage infrastructure or operations. MAS is not just about LLM access. It's about supporting the full generative AI stack. GMI MAS covers the 4 core modalities: LLMs, reasoning, long context understanding, and agentic workflows; video, high-quality video generation with production-ready pipelines; image generation and multimodal understanding; audio, speech synthesis, voice processing, and multimodal audio models. All of these are accessible through the same API design. This isn't just convenient, it's future-proof as AI complications become increasingly multimodal by default. So let's take a look at what's available on GMI MAS today. For proprietary models, we support Google Gemini 3 families, Anthropic Cloud 4.5, OpenAI GPT 5.2, and more. On the multimodal side, our portfolio includes Google Gemini image modules View 3.1, ByteDance, CDance, Cdream, Minimax Hello Videos, Clean AI, Clean 2.5 Turbo, Alibaba 1 2.6, 11 Labs, 11 V3, 11 Multilingual V2, and more. And this is consolidated under one API with enterprise-grade guarantees. Now let's talk about the economics. With GMI MAS, customers get the same models, but better pricing. What this means in practice: discounted pricing for Gemini, OpenAI, and Anthropic models. Discounts extend beyond the big three to other closed source models. No markup-driven vendor lock-in or incentives align with customer success. Centralized billing across all models with a single invoice. The sale message is quite straightforward. Enterprises can reduce inference spend without changing a single line of your application codes. This platform is not built for experimentation, it's built for production. So by default, GMI Must includes guaranteed SLAs with uptime and performance commitments, strong privacy and data protection with compliance support, zero retention options for sensitive workloads, and per-client customization across pricing, policies, and deployment. The key trust signal is this: GMI hosts and operates critical models on our own infrastructure, ensuring consistent performance that pure routing platforms cannot match. Now, let me bring everything together. GMI Must is built for scale, choice, and cost control. We deliver 5 core advantages: broader closed-source model coverage than typical aggregators, popular open-source models, fully hosted, no infrastructure burden, full coverage from LLM, video to image and audio, meaningful discounts on top proprietary models, one API, enterprise-ready from day one. GMI Must is a service where model choice, cost efficiency, and enterprise trust converge. We are excited to support your journey and help you scale with confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian. Next, please help me welcome Yijie Hong, our Director of Engineering. He will discuss dedicated endpoint built by engineers for engineers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yijie from GMI Cloud. I'm leading the engineering effort to deliver the best model as a service and AI inference solution. So thanks a lot for Lillian, who introduced all the merits of our mass endpoints. And you can see how easy to get access to all the top models with just simple API, a unified API with discount with enterprise services. I'm going to share a little bit more on some scenarios that our customers tell us about why they are not satisfied with just calling APIs. They also want to host their own models. There are some reasons. First one is the cost efficiency. So everyone will enjoy the top intelligence from the proprietary LLMs and the fancy videos from the newest video generation models. But if you are an application builder, if your usage grows, you might be shocked by the big bill. So then at this moment, you might start to think about some open source alternatives, which is typically several times cheaper. Second is about guaranteed throughput. Open source models is already available on GMI platform through mass APIs, but if your application have huge volume, say millions or billions of tokens consumption per day, then you might want dedicated guaranteed throughput to ensure the quality. Third, about the latency. So those like mass endpoint usually optimize for throughput with acceptable latency or SLO. So it should be fine for most use cases, but if your application have special requirements, for example, extremely low latency, or you want to handle millions of prompt tokens within seconds, definitely you need extra inference optimization. And finally, if you are using long-tail models, customized models, fine-tuned models, typically you cannot find out-of-box like APIs there. You have to host by yourself, and it's time-consuming, expensive to make it production-ready. At this moment, you need GMI dedicated endpoint. So what it is a fully managed dedicated inference stack. Still, you will get like an API similar to the Mass API, which can be plugged into your application. Beneath that, we have optimized runtime, tailored for your use cases, tailored for your scenarios. It can be optimized for low latency, low cost, or whatever you want. And this optimized runtime need to be run on a fleet of GPUs. So the number of requests for applications will fluctuate during the day, over the week. There will be peak hours and quiet times. And you will want those GPU fleet to be dynamically scalable accordingly, so that every coin you spend on the compute can be fully utilized. So our solution enables that. It will compose of two things. One is the reserved GPUs with low cost for the baseline traffic, and also using on-demand GPUs to handle the traffic burst. And it will come with like UIs and dashboard, which will give you control, give you like a production-grade SLA. Let me deep dive a little bit. So for the runtime optimization, extreme performance of inference engine typically does not come from one single magical optimization. It's a combination of multiple right technologies. In the inference optimization world, there's a lot of fancy technologies, PD disaggregation, parallelism, KV cache offloading, blah, blah, there's a lot. At GMI, we are very experienced to find the right combination of this optimization for you. And aside from those like algorithm optimization, there are a wide range of NVIDIA GPUs available on GMI Cloud. So we can do benchmark, help you find the right setup. And once this dedicated endpoint has been launched, when the real traffic comes, our platform supports to continuously refining based on the real traffic. So with real data, it will be more accurate. So the solution will be better and better. And I'm going to share two examples of what we have achieved. For example, the first one is about language models, the most popular DeepSeek V3 model. The customer asked us to optimize for throughput in a multi-round chatbot scenarios. We applied a combination of KV cache offloading, quantization, CUDA optimization, and a lot, and we achieved 3.7 times more throughput on the same GPU. Another example is about the video generation. This customer does not need super fancy video generation, but they want extremely low latency generation. So we help them find the model, find the right GPU setup, do the optimization, and it ends up in the end, we speed up the single video generation from 30 seconds to 2.1 seconds. Namely, we generate 5 seconds video within 2 seconds. So this is very close to real time. Pretty cool, right? On the GPU fleet side, so we, GMI Cloud, we are a GPU cloud provider referenced by NVIDIA. So we have managed a lot of GPUs, tens of hundreds of GPUs all over the world in our own data centers and partner data centers. So I would say we have a pretty extensive access to a large fleet of GPUs globally. And with that pretty large GPU pool, we are able to provide low-cost reserved GPU for those stable, predictable traffic. Plus, we will have a shared pool for those to offer those on-demand capability for you. So with our intelligent auto-scaling capability and traffic routing, we are able to maximize the GPU utilization, minimize the idle time. So this means lower cost for our customer. All right, to sum up. So why a customer will come to GMI to use the dedicated endpoint? First is about the cost efficiency. If you are building application, depends on open source model. So come to us, our efficient runtime and dedicated plus on-demand GPU strategy will give you the most cost-effective API. And with the dedicated GPU plus on-demand GPU strategy, you will get guaranteed throughput with scalability. And if you have a long tail or your customized model, our solution equip it with an API and give you like production-grade SLO, so you can use it as easy as the mass API. And finally, if you need customized optimization, we can help you to find the right combination of optimization, right GPUs to maximize the throughput. And also, our system is supposed to continuously help you to do the optimization. So this is why GMI dedicated point meets the scalable and the customized model needs. Yeah, if you have any questions or such needs, just come to me. Thank you.